Our phones are with us at all times, everywhere we go. And I mean everywhere. They're so convenient, right? We don't have to shop in stores. There's an app for that now. No need to dress nice to find a date. There's an app for that too. Better yet, we never again have to look at tiny words in a newspaper or magazine to be in with the next big thing. In fact, 43% of US citizens consume their news solely from TikTok. That percentage doesn't include traffic from platforms like X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. But the more apps, the merrier, right? Not exactly. 7 in 10 US adults use social media, and 80% have consumed fake news. We've consumed fake news since the invention of news itself, but consuming our news solely on social media has some harmful effects. Going back in time, the print press paved the way for the industry of news consumption when the first newsletter was published in 1609. Fake news had its own category, labeled sensationalism, and it was a hit. This type of journalism uses exciting and shocking stories to get reactions out of audiences, but it was still made clear through their extremities that entertainment was separate from news. And then, the brand new television hit the shelves, with the shiny news anchors, color display, and tempting advertisements. But even then, there were only a few channels to consume news from, including NBC, founded in 1926, as well as CBS a year later. These channels, among many others, work to distribute the most objective news with the highest entertainment value. We are in a business to create and deliver content so compelling it entertains, informs, and shapes our world, NBC's mission statement says. But for contemporary journalism, the relationship between entertaining and informing seems obsolete. If it's not entertaining, people won't want to consume it. If it's too long, people won't read it. 2-minute news segments have turned into 15-second TikTok videos. Did you know that 59% of links shared on social media are not actually read through? That statistic also leads to the fact that 40% of adults have accidentally shared misinformation online. If we get news from social media, we will simply become less informed. Ignorance is not bliss in this situation. If we're misinformed by current events, we are far more susceptible to believing whatever we're exposed to. A sort of Ray Bradbury concept that would lead us into the depths of dystopian conformity. Okay, yeah, that's the most extreme, but it's really important to exercise your right of skepticism of everything you read. A study conducted by Pew Research Center distributed a survey to US citizens who consume news, some on social media and others through traditional means like TV and print. They concluded, quote, the average proportion that got each question right was lower among Americans who rely most on social media for political news than among those who rely most on other types of news sources, end quote. We need to consume objective news in order to seek change, form opinions, and be able to adequately prepare for crises. Not to mention, it's a privilege in itself to say you can avoid politics and news. So use your privilege to learn. It's important to strike a balance between consuming news on social media and cross-referencing with other sources. Next time you're scrolling on TikTok or Instagram, make sure you think before you repost to ensure that you're not misleading others.